Hello, welcome back to my channel. Super hot day here in Italy. Oh my gosh, it's just, I'm melting. And I have all the windows in the house open, and I have this fan. Do you remember this fan from the Q&A with Brian on my old rooftop in Rome? So I'm sorry, I have to have it on because it's really hot today. Good salad weather though, and I love salads. You guys have been asking me for this for literally years. I felt a bit reticent about sharing a salad recipe because it's just assembling, it's not proper cooking. But sometimes I guess you just need some inspiration, right? You know how to make a salad, but I grew up in a family of super salad eaters. I mean, my mother's side is Greek, and actually, if you ask these little old ladies and men on the Greek islands or in parts of Italy and Sardinia who have lived to be well over 100 and have such energy and just that wonderful spirit. Generally, they're eating this the Mediterranean diet of lots and lots of bitter greens. And bitter greens, I mean, my sister, who's a naturopath and nutritionist, is always saying, are just where it is all at in terms of nutrients. It's good for your skin, it's good for your digestion, and digestion is huge because if you wake up and feel sluggish or you just always feel tired, there's a high chance it's due to digestion. And I wake up and I have to say, like most days I wake up like filled with energy. I feel really just clean and balanced and good, like from a digestion perspective. Emotionally I might be in a whole other state, but it does mean I have a lot of energy. And so when I think about a salad, I always think, oh, this is not about like weight loss or anything like that, although it's good for that. It's for me, the real motivation is to make sure that I'm feeling full of energy and that I'm not having trouble sort of just feeling bloated, you know? It really works for me, and according to my sister, who's much more of an expert than I am, that's one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, is to add more greens into your life. Now, about salads. I have a theory about salads. Of course you do, Kylie. Of course I do. So when I make a salad, I like to consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements, because I had a lot of friends coming around and saying, how come when you make a salad it tastes good, and when I make it at home it's just not the same, or it's not really like yummy, you know? And I think when I think about a salad, I like to curate it even just in terms of color and flavor, and just restrict it, because then it becomes just not like you're eating this melange of stuff that's left over and about to go off in the fridge. No, like it feels like it has a theme and it has an intention. And I like my you're gonna laugh at this, but whatever, you know me by now. I like my salads to be curated, like I do with my films, like I do with other things in my life. I think even with color, like for example, now I have wonderful tomatoes, but I'm not putting them in this salad. No, because this is a green salad, and I think sometimes when you restrain things, like you keep them just really simple and you don't just go throwing everything on, you give the ingredients a chance to really speak. And I think this is also an Italian mentality, you know, it's not, they tend to think, okay, instead of just throwing a heap of things together, let's just get 2 or 3 ingredients and really just cultivate a theme. Does that make sense? So when I'm designing a salad in my head, I'm always thinking about these elements, right? For the balance with my palate. I'm thinking I want something crunchy for texture. You need that because the association with salads sometimes is they're limp and just sad and all this lettuce that's sort of like, no. So we've got to counter that with some crunch, okay? You need texture. They say you actually need it. It changes your whole emotional experience with the dish.
For a crunchy element in a salad, I often use diced pancetta, raw carrots or raw cucumber or nuts.
Then I want something creamy. The creaminess is going to just, it's just going to clash beautifully with the crunchiness, okay? You want that difference.
For something creamy, I use avocado or cheese like feta, goat's cheese, ricotta, homemade aioli, which I make with eggs, olive oil and mustard, a poached egg, slow roasted eggplant, homemade hummus, which I make with chickpeas.
Then I want something fresh. I need it to be raw and crisp and just make the whole salad feel light and summery.
For something fresh, I use chopped lettuce or spinach or chicory or other bitter greens, raw carrot or cucumber, tomato, capsicum or pepper, or fennel.
Then I want something sweet. Now, I don't mean, obviously, something sugary. I just mean a sweet flavor.
For a sweet element, I often use roasted red vegetables like peppers, tomatoes, red onions, or corn, just the sweet corn that you get in a can, roasted pumpkin or roasted sweet potato, or honey and tamari marinated tofu or chicken.
Now we've got crunchy, we've got creamy, we've got fresh, we've got sweet, and then salty. I want something very, very salty that really just excites the taste buds, it sort of makes your mouth water a little bit. So for that, I might have olives, or I might have anchovies, or I might have pancetta. Okay, I might have pancetta that's, that might be the crunchy and the salty in together. Again, I mean, it sounds complicated, but it's not really. It's just what you would probably do naturally anyway, is think within a salad, like how all the flavors holistically are going to come together and then just create this this little adventure for your mouth. You're just like, oh, it's salty, and then it's sweet, and then it's soft, and then it's crunchy. Oh, and then the final element, filling. The salad for me has to be filling, because if I'm going to go to all the trouble of chopping and assembling and everything, I need it to last me all the way through the day and long into the night, because I do these editing sessions, as you guys know, where I'm just locked in an edit for 16 hours sometimes. And I also work out in the morning. I go for really long runs and do Pilates and stuff like this. So I really, get to lunchtime and I'm really hungry. Like, I need some protein in there, feeding my muscles, making me strong, and giving me, also filling my stomach. I don't want, as wonderful as bitter greens are, they don't necessarily keep you going all day long. So I like to add lentils or chickpeas or sweet potato, some element that is really going to make the salad a bit more robust. So for me, the salad is all about having this diversity of texture, right? So some of the stuff is roasted, some of it's fresh, some of it is crunchy. I start by putting my oven on. I want to preheat my oven. I put it onto 200 degrees. I work out what that is in Fahrenheit. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm going to cook, but I always feel comforted with a preheated oven. Maybe you understand this. I mean, I just feel like where there is a preheated oven, there is hope. That's how my mind works. Okay, I start with red onions. I prefer red onions more than white onions. And I like to roast these because raw onions I find really difficult to digest. The taste is all right, but I mean it gives you that sort of onion breath. And then if I'm having this for lunch, I don't know what I'm going to be doing in the afternoon. And whereas if these caramelized, you're not going to get that onion breath. But also for me, it's just raw onion. Hours afterwards, I can feel it sort of not working well in my stomach. And in fact, if you look into it, raw onions take a long time to digest for a lot of people. So let's get some baking paper. Okay, let's start by getting yourself a nice big tray. Sometimes I see people making their life harder than it needs to be, because they'll think, oh, I don't need to use such a big tray. Even if it's just myself, I use a big one, because if you pile all the vegetables up on top of each other, there's sort of, I don't know, some of them are just going to like cook but not get that lovely golden color. They're not really going to be able to either crisp up or caramelize or anything. So you want them all to be spread out nicely, so everybody gets their time to shine. If you add them on top of each other, they get all upset. and we don't want that. Where is my good knife? In the dishwasher. Certo. Okay. If you cry when you're chopping onions, I've found that if you keep your onions in the fridge, it stops you from crying. Have you found that? Okay, let me get you a different camera angle. When I'm chopping vegetables and I'm putting them all on the same tray, aspetta, compost, I like to think about how fast they're going to cook, right? Because I don't want to be doing them in stages. I just want to put them all in and not think about them. So, for example, broccoli takes a bit longer to cook than onion, so I will chop these. I'll chop the broccoli a little bit smaller and the onion a little bit larger. Basic, really. But sometimes some people don't think about the basic things, and then they say, "Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Kylie." And I think, "Oh, well, it was rather simple." But, or you might just be sitting there saying, "I know that. Why are you patronizing me with this?" I don't know. The internet's sometimes it's such a horrible place, isn't it? It's like I try really hard, and then some people are just so cruel and nasty, and you can't win. You just can't win. I like to do enough for 2 people because if I'm by myself, it means I have enough that I can potentially also have it for dinner or lunch the next day. Or if I have a friend come round, or if I'm eating with a partner, it's just, yeah, I just tend to make. Also, it's like it's a salad, and that's a great thing. I tend to stay away from, bread and pasta and everything. Wouldn't really have that for lunch. But when it's vegetables, you really can, you can have larger portion sizes. What's next? Okay, onion. This I'm just chopping into quite large pieces. Such a beautiful colour. And yes, and then I have le zucchine, and these are from my vegetable garden. I'm so proud. I mean, look at them. They're all like, some of them are a bit misshapen, but they're wonderful and homegrown and organic and everything. Fantastic. Let's give them a quick wash. Now basically, if I'm putting anything to roast in the oven, this is a prime opportunity to throw in some garlic and some lemon wedges, because they just infuse the vegetables with this wonderful flavors of the Mediterranean. Garlic, again, I find that once it's roasted, it doesn't give you bad garlic breath, and it also is easier to digest. And the lemon can really break down, and it provides that sweetness, because it turns from something sort of quite bitter to almost like a caramelized lemon, which is very, very sweet and delicious. And I tend to, if a lemon's been roasted long enough, I can just eat the whole thing, rind and all, because it really breaks down and softens and becomes delicious. I think there's some people who use like garlic powder and all these things, but there's nothing that can suffice for the real deal. Like just a clove of garlic roasted, slow roasted, is just wonderful, and it goes so soft. And actually then you could even put it into a dressing. Then it's better than, if you don't have a mortar and pestle, it's a better way of having it break down and become soft enough to amalgamate with your dressing. Garlic, you just want to I take 3 cloves and put your weight onto it, which will crush it, take off the little casing, and then just put it whole in there, because you don't want to chop it, because otherwise they'll burn after all that time cooking. So I like to keep them whole, but just smashed, so that they emit their wonderful flavour. And then to this, I put a lot of olive oil over the top, and after the olive oil is on, so that it sticks, I put the salt, sea salt, and now we can put this in the oven. This can it cost only 50 cents. And I used to live on this a lot. Like in times when I've not had a lot of money, you really can make a wonderful, nutritious meal from chickpeas or lentils, and a can just costs about 50 cents. It's really good value. So I'm just going to drain these and wash them. You should always wash what comes out of a can. Where is the colander? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, let's get some feta cheese. Here. In this salad, one of the elements that will provide texture and crunch will be almonds, and I like to toast almonds because I just think it takes them to another level. Just be sure not to burn them because like they're not cooked, not toasted, not toasted, not toasted, and then suddenly they're black, so be aware. How are our vegetables going? Well, so then we have something crunchy, we have something roasted and sweet, we have something creamy in the feta. We need something fresh, which is going to be, usually I use spinach, but today I'm going to use BIETOLA, which is homegrown and is so, it's so fresh and crisp. Vegetables are done. Everything becomes sweet and soft and fragrant. You can smell the lemon and the garlic. Delicious. Chickpeas, only half because I say so. Half of the feta. Now, when I put over the feta, it's going to slightly warm and start to melt a little over the roasted vegetables, which will be incredible. Our toasted almonds, and I'm just going to toss it around with my hands because that's the best way. Lightly. Oh my gosh, look at it. It looks so delicious. Okay, let's also chop some mint because I feel like mint is such a lovely, strong flavor. It can really compete with the other flavors in here, and it's not going to get confused with the BIETOLA because you have such a strong identity, don't you, mint? Yes, you do. Okay, there we go. And then mint with feta is just fantastic. Can you see me? Herbs I always put in at the very end because they tend to wilt, and so if you're chopping them ahead of time they can just get a little bit depressed. So I put the herbs in at the end, when I also put in some, aspetta, we have a lemon here, I knew it. I'm going to put a squeeze of lemon. Aspetta, let's hold this here. Squeeze of lemon, and I don't think I have to salt this because I already put a lot of salt on the roasted vegetables, so that's taken care of. But I just want to have a nice drizzle of olive oil. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. I must show you in primo piano, in a close-up.
Almost forgot to add Kalamata olives.
Ma non potrebbe essere il coniglio.
Non mangiato così, secondo me è un caterpillar. Vedi, ha mangiato sui bordi.
Eh sì. Prima raccolta un po' scarsa, come si dice?
Misera,
Piccola.
si scarsa.